Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us today. This is the 62nd time we get together to honor Americans, veterans. My remarks are brief. I just want to thank you all for being here. I ask past DAV Commander Jeff Hogue to come forward and give a short prayer blessing of the service.
Uncover, please. Before I start the prayer, we're going to tell you what this day is. This is the 11th day of the 11th month at the 11th hour. It's designated a time to remember the veterans. So at this time, we meet underneath this doughboy to remember them. To be here with you today as we come together to remember and to honor the service and sacrifice of our nation's finest and bravest. When I was asked to give a speech today, I felt a little overwhelmed. A little bit that way right now. I had never given a speech about Veterans Day, but certainly not in front of veterans on the town square for anyone to listen. I thought to myself, who was I to give this speech? It took me a little while to figure that out, and I'll get back to that in a moment. So I asked some of the veterans that I knew what they thought I should say. Some said, talk about your service. Some said, talk about your relative service. Some said, talk about why you joined. So I figured I would talk about some of those things to start with. So why did I join? I think back all those years ago, over 20 years it seems like at this point, trying to remember, I can't say it was a decision that was well thought out or was filled with noble ideals. It just seemed like a good idea at the time. I joined the Air Force when I was 18 years old and became an F-15 jet mechanic. I wasn't the worst mechanic, and I certainly wasn't the best. I had heard my father tell stories of his time in the Army and the National Guard. He had served for 8 years as a communications specialist. After his active duty service, he was called up to help keep the peace during riots in Milwaukee and Madison, Wisconsin. A far cry from my service in sunny Florida, fixing jets. My grandfather served during World War II as an MP in charge of watching and retrieving German soldiers. And as to where he met my grandmother, she was from England and helped defend her country during the bombardment. She worked in munitions and as shore patrol. When I was a child, I would spend a week or more in the summer at my grandparents' house. I still remember hearing my grandmother wake up in a fright in the middle of the night when she would hear the heater turn on with a loud boom. It reminded her of the bombing she lived through in Liverpool, England. My Uncle Jim was a part of Merrill's Marauders in Burma and China during World War II. He earned 2 Purple Hearts due to injuries from being run over by a tank in China and shot in the knees in Burma. My Uncle Arnie served 30 years in the Army, starting at the age of 15 during World War II, retiring as a Sergeant Major. There are many more relatives and friends who served that I haven't mentioned. So many who have touched my life, who have sacrificed for all of us. How could I stand here today when these others, among the many I know, gave so much more than I did? That is why. Because of their service. Because of their sacrifice, because of the veterans that stand before us today. Freedom is not free, I've been told, and it is true. I have my freedom because of the men and women who fought for it, because of the men and women who still fight for it to this day. It is something that must be fought for each and every day. It is a privilege to have this opportunity to stand before you today, to thank you, our veterans, for your service. Thank you. Thank you. I can't think of any other words to convey my feelings or thoughts. 2 words, they're not fancy, just 2 simple words. Thank you. Thank you for my freedom. Thank you for your sacrifice. Without you and citizens like you, this country of freedom wouldn't be here today. There wouldn't be hundreds of millions of people all over the world who have freedom without you. American soldiers, Marines, sailors, airmen, Coast Guard. So who was I to give this speech on Veterans Day? I had to ask myself. Just a proud American. A man humbled by the sacrifice of our veterans. So this Veterans Day, let us remember their sacrifice and say thank you.